Put a disclaimer. The opinions of Jecll Studios are not the opinions of...
People mentioned in this podcast are purely fictional.
The names have been changed.
No relation to any persons living or otherwise.
Here, similarities are purely coincidental.
Hello and welcome back to another... You started to move. I wasn't sure if you were ready. So I stopped.
Okay, let's go again.
Their episode of How About This Movie? Alright, for real. For real. From the top. Okay. Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie? Today we are reviewing the 1987 film A Princess Bride.
Now for our feature presentation.
I forgot what we were doing. I'm not going to do that again. Just going to keep that in.
Alright.
Wing it. Something to work with.
Inconceivable.
Shout out goes to Dawson. Dawson, good job. Check out Dawson's band's first single. It's available on all the streaming platforms. We'll link that down in the description.
It'll probably be like a YouTube link. Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. It's music. His band's music is music, so check it out. It's good stuff. Tyson. Who's in this movie?
A bunch
And who
of
directed
people.
it?
It was directed by Rob Reiner,
It was directed by Rob Reiner.
who did This Is Spinal Tap, A Few Good Men, Misery, and Stand By Me.
Cranked it up to 11.
He did.
He did.
Another person who was in This Is Spinal Tap is also in this movie. Christopher Guest.
Who also cranked it up to 11.
Yep.
Because it was his character.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen Spinal Tap.
Me neither.
It's hilarious. I recommend it.
I only know their references.
Stars Carrie Elwes. Great actor.
Best Robin Hood ever.
Yep. Robin Hood Men in Tights. He was also in Saw.
Which
which
I
is-
often forget.
Yeah. Much more of an R-rated movie if you haven't seen it.
Also never seen Saw.
If you've never heard of what Saw is, it's pretty graphic.
Yeah.
And Liar Liar, not to step on your toes.
Yeah, he's kind of a supporting part in Liar Liar.
I forgot. I never I watched Liar Liar a bunch as a kid and never realized it was the same guy. So I just wanted, in case anyone else is stupid like me, he's also in Liar Liar, you guys.
Mm-hmm. Robin Wright plays Princess Buttercup. She was in Forrest Gump and Unbreakable.
Jenny.
Jenny, yeah, she was Jenny. Also has Mandy Patinkin as Inigo. He was in Homeland and Dick Tracy in that one crime show. Can't remember what it was called. I think it was Criminal Minds.
One of them.
Yeah,
One of
them. Andre the Giant, who's a wrestler. He's also in $6 Million Man. Wallace Shawn, who was Vizzini. He does a lot of character voices in like children's cartoons and stuff. So
He's got a very recognizable voice. You might not recognize the face, but you definitely know the voice.
He's that voice.
Chris Sarandon, he plays Prince Humperdinck. He was in Fright Night and Dog Day Afternoon, among others. Yeah, also Fred Savage as a child.
Young Fred Savage.
Yep. And then Billy Crystal and Carol Kane play the
Max and
Max
Valerie.
and his wife. Yep.
Some people.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of people.
It's a
in
pretty
this
good
movie.
cast.
Yep.
I had never heard of Christopher Guest or the guy that played Prince Humperdinck. I already forgot his name.
Chris Sarandon.
Chris Sarandon. But other than that, I've actually never really heard of Carol Kane either. I've definitely seen stuff she's in, but I'd never really heard of her.
Yeah, she was in Addams Family Values.
Yeah.
And also in a few movies with Gene Wilder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
At least one movie with Gene Wilder, World's Greatest Lover. Which I find hilarious.
Tyson's getting defensive.
It wasn't well received.
I don't think people liked it.
No.
Tyson's getting defensive.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I've never seen it.
It's an old movie. I think it was made in like the 70s.
Why am I on a movie podcast?
Because you've seen this movie.
You're the token girl.
I'll take that.
Do a little graphic there. Token girl.
The girl.
Horrible. Okay. The Princess Bride is based off of a novel. I forgot who wrote the novel.
I don't read.
What was the name of the novel?
It was the Princess
Bride.
Yeah.
I think it was William
Shakespeare wrote it.
Berg. Gold.
Stein.
Bro. Okay, Google. Just leave this in. Okay, Google.
Not sponsored.
Okay, hey Google. Who wrote The Princess Bride? That you need to, yeah. It worked before, guys. Who wrote The Princess Bride novel? Wow. We're
Here's
leaving.
the definition of novel.
No.
Fictitious prose narrative of book length, typically representing character and action with some degree of realism.
All right.
There's our first fun fact right there.
We can set. Nobody listens to us, and nobody listens to us out loud, so we can't set off everybody else's.
William Goldman. I was very close. Closer than Google.
Our novel is
Yeah. Roasted.
They're like very wide question answer in there. What the fuck is a novel?
So it's based off of a novel of the same title by William Goldman. And it's, it's a movie. Sorry, I'm out of it. Give me a sec.
What is the plot of the movie? Is it a grandpa reading the same novel to a little boy?
Yeah.
It
So
is.
the movie is told in a very similar way to the way the book is written. You've never read the book?
No.
Okay. I'm the only one that's read the book in the group, apparently.
I don't read those types of books.
I don't
Extend.
generally read.
Your privilege. He can't
Yeah.
read.
Hey, that's my joke.
I swear I can read. I just don't do it often.
The way that the book is written, the narrator is... the grandpa's reading the narrator parts. So it's told in the very similar vein as the book. The plot of the movie is a grandpa reading The Princess Bride to his sick grandson. And the plot of The Princess Bride is the second or third most beautiful woman in recorded history almost marrying the wrong man and then being saved by the love of her life.
Who was a farm boy and then a pirate.
Exactly.
I mean, what the hell was she thinking, right?
Yeah.
Well, he was a very smart farm boy / pirate.
Also, the wrong man was going to kill her.
That's true.
She wasn't super aware of that.
And I was going to frame Gelder for it.
Yeah.
So.
And start a war. See, people have been profiteering off of wars forever. It's never going to end.
It's true.
Ever since back in the Princess Bride days.
This would have taken place after the Australians, or after Australia was colonized or turned into a prison colony. So the 1780s, 1790s would have to be after that. But before 2019, presumably.
The more you know.
Also, probably before, what was it, 1987?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But not before 1984.
Definitely not.
No.
So our window of when this took place is 84 to
Yeah.
87. So
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot can happen in
Got
3
that
years.
narrowed down for you guys.
Yeah, even though Carrie Ellis's character was gone for 5 years.
And the Dread Pirate Roberts is based on Bart. Something like the most successful pirate of all time. And he sailed in the mid 1800s. So realistically, it's set around that time. But I prefer our fan theory.
Happened in the
1980s.
The crux of the mid 80s.
I wonder how this ties into the pirates that the Goonies find.
Or maybe the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Also in the 80s.
I hate the Goonies.
So the pirates that they find in the Goonies only had to be dead for like 2-3 years?
It's true. They were fully decayed.
Yep. That is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else do you guys want to add about the plot? I mean, I gave a very, very brief summary. But what else do you guys want to add?
It's basically the princess getting saved by the love of her life.
Yeah. Hijinks ensues. That's where the comedy comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's kidnapped by Fezzik, Vicini, and Inigo, but they're paid by Humperdinck to kidnap her, and somehow, some way, farm boy Wesley shows up and is like, nah, I'm gonna outduel you, Spaniard. I'm gonna outstrong you, giant. I don't remember where he's from. I don't remember where Fezzik's from.
Greenland,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because Vizina's like,
He does say something
you want me
about
to send you back to where I found you? Unemployed
In Greenland! And then he outbrains the Sicilian, even with death on the line.
Mm-hmm. Which apparently you're never supposed to do.
Never.
Never enter into a land war in Asia, first and foremost.
Number one.
But number two,
And only
is,
slightly less well known.
Never enter a battle of wits
when death is on the
when
line.
death is on the line with a Sicilian.
Indeed.
Yep.
So he kidnaps this princess, but he seemed very mad at her for the first few minutes. Just like, oh, you're engaged. Well, guess you
He didn't.
just got over your old boyfriend so quickly.
Well, yeah, because that's what he thought happened. He didn't know that.
And why'd he go after her?
Because he wanted the... he was in love.
What are you saying? Like, he went after her because it's the right thing to do, not because he's felt like he was owed anything. He can still chastise her for moving on too quickly.
She's her own person. She can move on however quickly she wants. It's not what
It's
happened.
also been 5 years.
It's not what happened.
Yes.
But still, he's just going to save the princess just to bitch at her.
Well, you know, that's what you do to me, so.
I save you to bitch at you?
Yeah. I was like, don't put that fork in the light socket. Like, okay, Mom.
I mean, she gets kidnapped back and then has to get married even though they weren't technically married.
Yeah.
True.
Because she never said I do.
She never said I do. So it doesn't count.
Wow. Wow.
Marriage!
Is what brings us together
today.
So that's the movie.
Tyson,
Yes.
what was the budget?
Well, the budget was estimated at around 16 million.
16
Which is
million.
pretty decent.
It's
for
a
back then.
reasonable
Yeah.
budget.
Its opening weekend, it made 4.48 million. Pretty
So
good.
it's a quarter.
Yeah.
About.
And its total worldwide gross is 30.5 million.
That's almost double.
Yeah. Pretty good for the 80s.
And $16 million adjusted for inflation would come out to about 37.5 trillion yen.
True. Mhm. We did the math.
Yep.
That's exact math, by the way.
Did you divide by pi?
Yes.
Okay. Good, because coins are round.
Exactly. You have to.
And yen is only in round currency. They don't have square currency.
Carly, what was your favorite scene in the movie?
I really like when the guy when he finally comes back to life.
Wesley
comes back to life and he's
Wesley
kind of
Snipes.
paralyzed.
Yes.
And they're sitting there and they list off the assets and they're like, "Oh, we can get a wheelbarrow. Why didn't you list that on the list of assets? This changes everything."
That is.
Boy, we had a Holocaust clerk.
That whole scene.
That is great too, because he's like, maybe if I had months to plan it, and then wheelbarrow is just like, oh yeah, I can do it in 10 minutes. Let's fucking go. What? You realize Andre the Giant is still a giant, whether he's in a wheelbarrow or not. Tyson, what was your favorite scene?
There's a lot of great scenes in this movie.
There really is.
It was really hard to choose.
It really is.
I'd probably have to say the Miracle Max.
Miracle Max.
Scene.
To Blave.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows that's to bluff.
Mm-hmm.
He probably owes you money. Yeah.
Liar! So what's your favorite scene, Daxton?
My favorite scene in The Princess Bride is the scene where Marshall is talking about The Princess Bride to Ted, and he's like, "Oh, everyone calls Fezzik stupid," and he goes like, "Oh, Fezzik, you finally did something right." Like, listen, you drunk Spanish asshole. He's been carrying you through this whole movie. That's my favorite scene.
That's
from How I Met Your Mother.
It's relevant.
I mean,
It's not a
yeah, but
scene
we're
in this
not
movie.
doing a show podcast yet.
Oh. Well, then the sword fight is probably my favorite scene.
okay.
Yeah, because
That's fair.
that was just awesome.
I am not attended.
Either. There was a breakdown in the trivia that I totally missed. So like Inigo has everything as a right-handed sword fighter, and he's fighting left-handed. So the assumption is that Wesley would know that Inigo is not left-handed.
Yeah.
However, Wesley has his scabbard on his right hip to fight left-handed, and favors his left hand when he's doing his boots and stuff. Yeah. But he was also right-handed, so he really commits to the ruse.
It's true.
Yeah. Carly, what do you think about that?
Inigo needs to commit a little bit more to his ruse.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, he's dedicated 20 years to just sword fighting, not like
He's never even seen a boob.
deception and stuff like that. So it's true. He's never seen a boob.
Only swords.
That's what gets him off.
Mm-hmm. He sounds himself with a sword. Cut that out.
Scores and recommendations.
Tyson.
What would you score this movie and what would you recommend?
This is a solid 8.5 to 9 for me. This is a really good movie. This is nearly perfect. I mean, it's not the usual type of movie I like to watch, but it's like a good movie for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever doesn't like The Princess Bride probably murdered somebody
Yeah.
before.
It's probably
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, I believe most murderers like The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
So,
The line cut from Psycho, that's the right movie, right? Psycho? Is Do You Like Huey Lewis in the News?
American Psycho.
American Psycho
Yeah.
is Do You Like Huey Lewis in the News? And The Princess Bride. But they're like, that's too long, we gotta pick one or the other, and it's more of a musical theme, so we'll go with Huey Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows that. It's common knowledge.
Like, okay, so the movies he was watching earlier were, like, Inside Lydia's Asshole. So, like, why would he mention Princess Bride
Yeah.
and not Inside Lydia's Ass?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, obviously he would like the movie,
Yeah.
even though this film might actually take place before it's come out. Because it is the
It was in
80s.
the 80s.
But it was like 89 or something like that. It was like late 80s.
Something like that.
Okay, so he's seen it then.
Yeah.
And he definitely enjoyed it.
They just assume that everybody likes it, so
Yeah.
they don't need to.
Yeah,
put
they're
it
like,
in.
yeah, we'll just take it out.
Yeah, I recommend it to everybody. Watch this movie if you haven't. Watch it again if you have.
Definitely watch it again if you have.
It's a movie that never gets old.
It is always a treat when it's like, oh, let's watch Princess Bride. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
When pretty much the entire movie is quotable, that's a good movie.
Yeah. It's a good sign, at least.
Yeah. What would you score this movie, Carly?
Probably also an 8.5 to 9. Very, very solid movie. Another good thing about this movie is it's not that it ages well, it's that it doesn't need to, because that adds to the hilarity.
Yeah.
Like, it's not great effects, the props, the sets are not immaculate, but it doesn't take away from the movie.
Yeah, you can definitely see like the bounce pads during the sword fight.
You can definitely see the paper just covered over rocks to be painted like rocks.
Funny story. I was watching Last of the Mohicans the other day, and in the scene where they're on the cliffside, Daniel Day-Lewis runs past a rock, but it's not a rock. It's just like a fucking tarp that's painted like a rock, and he bumps it, and you can tell. You can definitely tell. They left that in the movie.
So it's gonna be funny for years because it doesn't need to be an immaculate masterpiece.
Yeah. You can see like the hand painted sets and stuff, which is honestly almost nice in the way that films are made now. And like I'm not gonna get on my friggin' high horse and complain about computer generated imaging in films. Like I think it's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
But it is nice to like, oh, we have to act in a set space and like our actions matter, not just like I'm gonna wear a green suit in front of a green wall with my friends and then everything else will happen.
So you have the respect for the practical effects.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 for me. I would definitely recommend it. It's super quotable, it's super entertaining. It's got legs in pop culture, like it's a referenced thing all the time. And not that I'm any sort of like super PC person, but just kind of to go off of what you're saying about it being relatively timeless, like, are you? Okay, that's what I thought. Like, a lot of older films can also be kind of offensive in their humor.
Right.
And this doesn't suffer from that. So, like, not that I think you should go around boycotting older movies because they might be ever so slightly offensive, or you shouldn't, or whatever. Like, I'm not going to make that distinction for anyone on the podcast.
But it's not like an edgy type of humor.
Yeah, there's no...
Like, it's like a wholesome type of
humor. It's purely wholesome.
And it's just a witty humor.
Yeah.
Over needing to be edgy or shock value or anything in that respect.
Yeah. And I also respect that. Because a lot of the humorous movies from the 80s and then some older works from like Mel Brooks and stuff haven't aged as well in the public eye because the humor is deemed offensive. Fun facts.
The facts and they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
The well-known lines from the movie. The well-known lines from the movie.
My name is Inigo.
As You Wish is said 7 times. Inconceivable is said 5 times. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die is said 6 times. So there you go. This is also another one of the 1001 movies you must see before you die. That's like the 3rd or 4th on the list that we've actually covered.
Definitely.
At some point I'll go back and tally all that up and find the list, and we'll start knocking more movies off that list. The role for Fezzik was offered to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who unfortunately had to drop out because of scheduling conflicts, because he was still in the NBA when the film was being made.
Yeah, basketball player.
He is a basketball player. Andre the Giant at this point was pretty well debilitated from his back pain, from being one of the largest people on the frickin' planet.
And also a wrestler.
So he had to get around set on an ATV, and he'd always pester Carrie Elwes to get up to drive it. Like, hey, drive me. Carrie Elwes finally gives in and is driving him up to a scene they're going to shoot. Hits a rock patch. His foot comes off the ATV and gets run over. And he breaks his toe.
Oof.
Well.
Yeah. Damn it, Andre.
Rough.
Yeah. Painful. That's all I've got for fun facts. Anything else you guys would like to add? No?
I think those were some pretty fun facts.
Mm-hmm.
My nose is exceptionally itchy because of my allergies. Well, thanks for watching. Comment down below what you think would offend people about this movie. Unless Carly cut that part out, then this makes no sense. But you can still do it. Comment down below what movie you think we should do next. Comment down below if you went and checked out Dawson's Band, OG&M, Scorched, featuring Haley. Sorry, Dawson, I don't remember their name. But it's good stuff. Check it out.
Comment down below if you commented down below.
Also, comment down below if you did not comment down below.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe, all the socials.
Yep. At Jecll Studios on everything. Our Twitter has mostly become a personal Twitter for Carly, so you can follow all the YouTuber makeup drama that she retweets.
But I'll still post the videos.
She will still post the videos. So, I mean, it's better than nothing. Like, if I was doing it, I probably wouldn't do anything, so I'm not going to say anything. We're still doing the take a picture, guess the movie, get a shout out, obviously, because we shouted out Dawson. I don't know if that's back on the Instagram or if it's still just on the Facebook, but follow both just in case. If you win, we'll shout you out. And then obviously like and subscribe here. Anything else for you?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. And as always, as you wish. He's probably never seen this movie.
He's probably never laughed a day in his life. So, he probably goes home to his, like, white walls and his white furniture, no TV. He has, like, one candle on a table in the center of the room.
And then
he,
just dead
like,
bodies everywhere? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
He
I was
like
gonna
he
say,
like
is
owns
there, like, a
he
red
owns
pentagram?
he owns a cat, but it's like not even like a good cat.
Yeah, it's not like
It's
my
just
cat.
like
It's overweight and just like
it has
angry
the
all the
same
time.
it has the same personality that he does basically.
I should reach out, see how he's doing, check on his cat.
He has like fucking a weird magazine on his table, like fucking Nat Geo or some shit.
Bee Enthusiast Quarterly.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll go in his basement, kick up that computer, and rate 1-star reviews on places on Google.
That's his Friday night.
Yeah.
That's his Friday night. He looks forward to that every week.
Yeah.
That's how he unwinds from the week of teaching.
1 star was not very good.
And he has like a cheap wine. And he pretends like he's a professional wine taster. He pretends like, oh, only I had gone to sommelier school or some shit.
And he just sits down there for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's like finishing a bottle of wine.
Yeah, he pulls an all eveninger
So
Mhm.
Fridays.
Oh, wild man.
So
So like his
Still
1-star
goes to bed by
reviews
10.
yeah,
start
he's
off
in bed by 10.
really concise, like service was poor, there was a pubic hair in my salad, and they sneezed on me. And by the end, it's like, then shit bags poop.